Hi, this is Mark Struthers, and today we're going to take a look at the ethics of artificial intelligence used in medical imaging interpretation. We'll begin with a short clip of information from Fuji.
Advancements in diagnostic workflows. Riley starts immediately upon completion of an imaging exam. After instant recognition of the body part, Riley scans each organ for abnormalities. Upon abnormality detection, Riley triages studies and delivers a notification. The radiologist then immediately begins to interpret the study. Flexibility of the viewer can be automatically optimized for the type of exam and radiologist preference. Riley adds annotations and indexes to the suspicious regions to provide visual notification to the radiologist. Chart creation of measurements and findings are automatically created to track the size of the lesions over time. Semi-automatic report generation is supported based on the knowledge collected. Riley supports efficiencies for radiologists and clinicians during study interpretation by enhancing their diagnostic workflows. Fujifilm provides an open platform to support collaborations with healthcare organizations and AI partners, which is already occurring.
Fujifilm has given us a good overview of how artificial intelligence is used in interpreting medical images. Now we are going to take a look at the ethics of utilizing artificial intelligence in medical imaging interpretation. What do you think? Do algorithms, robots, and machine learning cross ethical boundaries in healthcare? Let's take a look at the information and see what conclusions we can find. The first thing we must acknowledge is technology is moving rapidly, and it has often outpaced the people working in the field. With technology comes change, and with change we need to increase our skill level and expertise. With a proper knowledge base, you'll be able to decide whether the use of artificial intelligence is ethical in medical imaging. We know that time is a factor in all medical procedures. If we are more efficient and can save time, is this one of the ways that medical imaging can be enhanced with artificial intelligence? The medical community needs to expand its expertise in informatics to provide better patient care. Understanding the technology allows us to optimize the technology. The healthcare industry is in the midst of a transformative change. The industry is being reformed or transforming through initiatives that focus on improving patient outcomes with a computer-based technology outcome. The evidence-based algorithm is the standard of practice today in medical imaging. This means using the most up-to-date scientific research data that has been analyzed and accepted as fact. We've heard the term art of medicine. What many people think of as an art in medicine is the ability to make a diagnosis. Medical imaging is a primary component of patient diagnosis. We're talking about the application of technology and computer science and artificial intelligence. But in reality, the application of science to a patient care will always need a human component. Computers are not designed to provide empathy or care. Can a machine learn empathy? Will a naturally learning and evolving system teach itself different bounds and hold life sacred? And how will it interpret the challenge of every doctor to do no harm? Let's go through this slide step by step. Let's start by analyzing the data and collecting the data. We then move to data labeling. From data labeling, we move to algorithm training. We'll end with software usage and the understanding of how artificial intelligence works. Number one is data collection. Our goals are to improve the quality of the data and increase the data quantity. Next, we'd like to enable automated labeling. In automated labeling, what we have is the electronic medical record is scanned from the PACS and the information transferred into the integration of the study that is being performed. Last but not least, we want to give our artificial intelligence algorithm training, teaching it to translate algorithms that were developed using run-of-the-mill images to being compatible with clinical 3D or 4D images. We need to figure out how best to display the artificial intelligence software and install it on site or in the cloud. Technology will always be improving, and we have a long way to go working with artificial intelligence, but we'd like to make it seamless with our medical imaging equipment. Ethics is not based upon strict rules, but based on concepts of right and wrong. We will look at individual, professional, and social judgments about the practice of medicine. For doctors and healthcare professionals, the standards of care include ethical treatment of patients. Remember, ethics is subjective. Religion and cultural environments may also impact upon what the patient feels is ethical. Cultural formation plays a significant role in how we perceive the world, healthcare, and the ethics of the healthcare being provided. Cultures differ in their understanding of what causes illness, how illness should be treated, and how illness can be prevented. This in turn impacts upon the medical ethics of providing healthcare. Understanding cultural diversity is one of the main components of creating an ethical approach to a patient's care. Here you'll note there's a diagram depicting different impacts upon patient care. We begin by looking at core cultural values and beliefs. These things help us to understand what type of patient care that we are receiving. If this care does not meet our expectations, is the care ethical? Herein lies the quandary. It is not about the healthcare professional, but about the patient care that we must focus. Recent advances in computer science and robotics are rapidly producing computational systems with the ability to perform tasks that were once reserved solely for humans. Image interpretation will be accomplished with greater volumes by radiologists that have artificial intelligence as part of their toolkit. We shouldn't forget that AI, or artificial intelligence systems, are created by humans, who can be biased and judgmental. Once again, if used right, or if used by those who strive for social progress, artificial intelligence can become a catalyst for positive change. This positive change is not only occurring in the medical community, but in all professions that utilize computerization. We should scrutinize the systems that are developed and by whom they are developed to make sure that the output is ethical. A computer can do nothing more than compute. It does not have judgment. A logical computer algorithm to eliminate disease in human beings would be to delete all human beings. This example shows the need for human oversight. When used correctly, artificial intelligence can evolve into an opportunity to nudge society towards more beneficial behavior. However, in the wrong hands, it could prove to be detrimental. This is why we need to take a look at the integration of human ethics into the algorithms used by the computers and overseen by humans. Few medical experts expect artificial intelligence, AI, to completely replace doctors, at least not in the short term. But the technology changes how medicine is practiced daily. What AI can do is to standardize and take into consideration all the factors that impact upon a diagnosis. AI also has interconnectivity to all the data in the world, whereas a physician has only what they have learned at this point in time, and they have to keep current through continuing medical education. Conversely, the data that the AI has access to is continually being updated, moment by moment. Healthcare and computer leaders are expected to adapt similar systems of checks and balances when designing and implementing AI with regards to medical ethics that we utilize today. If these checks and balances are not implemented, the electronic collective memory may take on an authority that was never intended. Clinicians may turn to machine learning for diagnosis and advice about treatments and not use them simply as a support tool. If that happens, machine learning tools will become important actors in the therapeutic relationship and will need to be bound by the core ethical principles such as beneficence and respect for patients that have guided clinicians. Do algorithms, robots, and machine learning cross ethical boundaries in healthcare? This is the question. We have a myriad of companies developing AI and programs for medical imaging and healthcare. Each one of these companies also has the ability to have proprietary information that they do not share with other companies, and this can be a problem when it comes to ethics. In describing AI, we need to understand what artificial intelligence is. The subject of artificial intelligence is complex, and machine learning is only a portion of artificial intelligence. One portion of machine learning is the data. We need quality data. There's an old saying in computers, garbage in, garbage out. We'll look at some of the components of artificial intelligence later on in this presentation. Prior to looking at the components of AI, we need to look at the prospect or the question, can we teach a machine ethical bounds? Earlier, we looked at all the components in designing ethical protocols and procedures and how these large number of components had to be weighted for both ethical and consequential impact as well as social impact. We also noted that there are cultural beliefs and spiritual beliefs that impact upon each person's perspective of what is ethical. So again, the question we ask is, can we teach a machine ethical bounds? In terms of teaching a machine ethics or adding outward bounds, one of the weaknesses is that trained learning systems can get really good on a narrow domain, but they do not transfer learning in different domains like reason and analogy. Machines are just flat terrible at that. So can we teach a machine ethics? Can a machine learn empathy? Will a naturally learning and evolving system teach itself different bounds and hold life sacred? And how will it interpret the challenge of every doctor to do no harm? What we're really asking is, can we make a computer human? What is the difference between humanity and a machine? If we can't transfer humanity into the computer, we need to have humans that are in charge of supervising the ethical principles that the machines are used for. Computers are simply computational machines that are used for analysis. The one piece of data or information that we cannot put into a computer is human judgment. We can refine data and tasks infinitely in a computer, but we still lack that one significant piece, humanity. Here is a simple graphic representation of all the complex subjects that need to be interpreted into the machine and all the data that needs to be refined to create artificial intelligence. Obviously, using artificial intelligence as a tool is a very complex undertaking. Artificial intelligence continually learns, so we have to worry about data migration and data integration into the system. The quality of data utilized is extremely important. As these systems become more capable, our world becomes more efficient and consequently richer. If we rely on artificial intelligence to bring us into the new world of labor, security, and efficiency, we need to ensure that the machine performs as planned, and that people can't overpower it to use it for their own needs. In other words, we have to consider the ethics of using artificial intelligence. Intelligence comes from learning, whether you're human or a machine. Systems usually have a training phase in which they, quote-unquote, learn to detect the right patterns and act according to their input. We need quality thoughts as a basis for human intelligence and quality data for artificial intelligence. The validity and source of information determines the degree of the quality. Artificial intelligence is infiltrating medicine, but is it ethical? The verdict is still out on how much change radiology might see with artificial intelligence, deep learning, and machine learning. We don't know how much change there will be, but there is a consensus among industry leaders in both healthcare and computers that something will happen based upon artificial intelligence being used in medical imaging. Can a machine be taught to value the best medical care and ethics? Can human intuition be replicated, and what application will this have in medicine? Can human judgment be migrated and integrated into artificial intelligence? And what about the ethics of how we are utilizing this artificial intelligence? When you think about it, artificial intelligence is capable of speed and capacity of processing that is far beyond that of humans, but it cannot always be trusted to be fair and neutral.